Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Anime King, and I'm back with part 4 of What If Naruto Was an Immortal Cursed Spirit, guys. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. If you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 more channels, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Symbol, Anime Prince. So go ahead, check them out and become a part of the Anime King family. So without further ado or wasting more time, also if you want your what if to be done by me, simply go ahead and comment on any of the latest posts. So without further ado or wasting more time, let us begin. Now, guys. So the last part we left off, Chirko, the head monk, said that Naruto wasn't a human. He didn't know what he was, but he knew that he was the one. This artifact belongs to him, and it is his purpose, his goal, not to give it to him. Kakashi tried to stop the battle, but turns out that Naruto has been lying about his speed. He passed Kakashi instantly, showing his true speed because the copy ninja underestimated him. However, Chiriku pulled out his most sacred technique, as he seemed to have around 100 arms. A golden Buddha statue appeared behind him. Something seemed similar to the wood style of the first Hokage, but on a more spectral level. The blows from this was supposed to kill anything, yes, as he decimated Naruto where he was. Upon his defeat, Naruto collapsed down to the ground. They believed that he was dead. Sakura horrified, Sasuke shocked. Chiriku got overconfident when Naruto pulled himself up and ripped his throat out with his hands. The monks all watched in shock. Kakashi was in shock as his throat was torn open. With that, Naruto made a beeline for the massive temple. The monks tried to stop him, but he leaped over their head. He burned through the structure of the wall, causing everything behind him to collapse as he reached the room where the artifact was. This wasn't his power, but this was one of the cursed spirits that he had created, a very powerful one. Upon arriving there, Naruto broke through the other wall. He could not break the seal that bound it, but he had another idea. Kakashi tried to stop him, but it was too late. Naruto targeted Sasuke and forced the box into his throat. Forcing his cursed energy through Sasuke, something spectacular happened. The cursed spirit blended with Sasuke Uchiha, remaking itself, changing itself into something terrifying, as all of that power fused and became a part of Sasuke Uchiha. Upon becoming a part of him, Sasuke, now bearing the past identity of Sukuna, a powerful, dangerous presence. When the monks tried to attack, Sasuke cleaved and decimated them all. Kakashi could only watch in absolute shock, forced to save Sakura, as the explosion had blown everything away. Naruto made Kakashi choose Sakura's life or chasing after them. He chose Sakura. With that, they fled, knowing that the copy ninja was too strong for them to take on, as he could see Sasuke's slashes. The power hadn't properly adapted yet. We get to see Sasuke having an internal struggle, trying to understand what he is now, but Naruto told him that soon enough all of that will melt away. He had nothing to worry about. Soon enough he will be free from his empathy. As the others made their way back to Konoha, leaving Hiruzen in shock, he had to call in for Jiraiya immediately. He had to tell him what is going on. They need his expertise on this. As time passed by, rumors and words start to spread about them as we get to see Sasuke decimate the entire group of monks, an entire holy sector. Unfortunately though, they had none of the spears, none of the boxes here. With that said and done, they continue on. Jiraiya had returned back to the village, now searching, as he had to make some deep dives into many different places. We get to see the Akatsuki discussing what was going on. Itachi Uchiha shocked when he heard about what his brother was a part of now. The next time we see Naruto and Sasuke, they were searching, having a difficult time locating the hidden villages. After all, it was in the names, hidden villages. As we get to see them finally arriving towards the coast of the Wind Country, where the sand was. Luck was on their part though, as the team that was returning was the Kazekage's son and his other children. Their Jonin sensei was Baki. He tried to fight but Sasuke slashed one of his eyes out. Naruto fought Gaara and ripped out part of his power. That was the second one since the one that he got from the Nine Tails, boosting his power considerably. The One Tails went on a rampage, as the Kazekage had to arrive and to seal it immediately. As the thing that Naruto took from it, the removal had destabilized its power. As the sand informed Konoha of what was going on, Jiraiya decided to head to Mount Miyaboku to get some answers on the entire situation. We also get to see that the 5 artifacts, they were with Orochimaru. That now equal up to 6, counting the one that Naruto took from the monks. So, 6 of the cursed spirits, there were 9 in total. How Orochimaru get them or how he got his hands on them was a mystery for now. With that, Naruto and Sasuke made their way off, searching for more, as he had to locate the entire hidden villages to reclaim his power. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the place, check it for yourself, and also don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels if you're new. Yes, I indeed have 5 more, so yeah, let us begin this now guys. We begin this episode in a vast chamber, carved from rocks. There were shelves along the walls, holding specimens in preservative fluids, failed experiments, biological weapons, remnants of Orochimaru's endless pursuit for forbidden knowledge. But at the center of the room lie 5 special artifacts. These were not normal, not in the slightest, and they were the most special out of everything within his collection right now. The first was a skull, yellow with age, but it did not seem to be going through any sign of deterioration, covered in markings that Orochimaru had yet to crack. To be quite honest, none of this he could break. It was sealed in arts. He was supposed to be a genius. That wasn't supposed to be a problem, but these were something else entirely. Then we have a curved blade. It was sealed within a flat cylinder of a special glass substance. It was definitely not normal glass. And then a tiny mirror, but it reflected absolutely nothing, not even his own reflection as he looked at it. The next was a wooden mask, carved with an expression that seemed to change, depending on whatever angle you look at it from. And the last was a small stone tablet. The writing on it was something that was trying to force its way out of it. All of these collections were special. He had possessed these for years, stolen from holy sites across the elemental nation, each of them requiring careful planning and ruthless execution. Monks, priests had died trying to protect these artifacts. Yes, some had survived, but blood had been spilled in the name of science. And Orochimaru never prided himself on being a sacred or holy man. He did whatever it takes to get what he desired. But despite all the knowledge that he's consumed, everything that has happened, he could not break them. The seals were definitely some kind of sealing art, but unlike anything that he's seen before. It was old, extremely old. It seemed to be the basis of what sealing art truly was. Every day though he get a little closer, learning more, observing more, monitoring more. He believed that by undoing these seals, it would lead him to great power. After all, that is how he got onto this. He found texts, whispers from ancient past about power that was sealed. To those who ever unbound them would become a god. What he did not know was, it was the last few cursed spirits, the ones that could be destroyed, the ones that were not specially created like the other 9. They had spread this information before the sage, his brother, or his children had snuffed them out. They had spread this information all over, and it seems like not even time could weather that, because some of them had formed cults, praising the name of their lord, despite the humans have never met them before. The spirits offer themselves as power to the people, slaughtering nations in their lord's name. Naruto. Yes. And that ancient whisper had spread beyond time, reaching to this century. Orochimaru found out about it some time ago, but it took him quite a long time to gather this information on what they were exactly. And upon finding them, he was met with a disappointed gaze that he could not break them, but he could feel it though. Every day, he get closer. This was the exact reason why he desired immortality, because time would no longer be a problem for him to face. Kabuto arrived inside of the laboratory. Orochimaru-sama, he said, I have news. Speak. Orochimaru responded. It's the fire temple, the massacre, and the attack on the sand. It is all connected, my lord. The same perpetrators. Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha. Orochimaru's eyes narrowed. He'd been following the reports, and his interest peaked when he learned that it was the same 2 boys who attacked the sand. 2 Konoha genin gone rogue, leaving destruction in their wake. Unusual but not unprecedented, until he learned what they were searching for. The fire temple was a place that Orochimaru had never gone. He had searched many holy lands to find these artifacts. He believed one was also at the fire temple, but due to the proximity of that place and Konoha and the high security there, he never went there. But it was a report that he got. What followed after the destruction. The report about Sasuke Uchiha, the changes. Orochimaru was just speculating by this point, but he believed that one of those artifacts had become a part of the Uchiha, changing him on a subatomic level that redefined power itself. But the Uzumaki boy, he didn't understand. Why attack the sand? Why let the tail beast go loose? How did he even do that? He himself was a Jinchuriki. What was his game here? He needed more information. He needed the exact detail of that battle. And this is where Kabuto came in. One of the greatest spies in the elemental nation. His desire for Sasuke was intrigued more than ever. But this mysterious Naruto Uzumaki was something that had him concerned and intrigued as well. He wanted to see for certain. He wanted to see exactly what is going on. With that, Orochimaru started to plot. Meanwhile, at Mount Miyaboku, Jiraiya was being addressed by the great Elder Sage Toad. His usual jokey demeanor now replaced by pure seriousness as he listened. The great Elder Toad, Gamamaru, he was there when the Sage of Six Paths walked the world. He was perhaps even older. On his left was Ma. On his left was Paul. Jiraiya had came here seeking information, giving them what he knew. and the great elder toad had many to tell him about the past. He usually sleep a lot, but his eyes were open today. A long time ago, before chakra was given to the world, there was a calamity, a being of pure malice and hatred, its very essence formed from power and resentment, a thing that should not exist. His name, I still remember it even now. It is... He hesitated. Oh, it seems I forgot. Jiraiya almost fell over at that. The toad did not remember the name. It tried to rack its brain to remember that name that was spoken a long time ago. Ah yes, Naruto. Jiraiya blood ran cold. Are you sure? He said. Yes, I am sure. It is not a name I would have forgotten. You just forgot it. But I remember, the toad said. Jiraiya was perplexed at all of this. The toads did not know the name of the boy. When Jiraiya said it, the great elder toad looked more concerned than ever before. Perhaps it was a coincidence, or perhaps it was fate itself, intervening into a wrongness that should not exist, because it could only be one of his kind, even with the same name, the same trials and tribulations that made this monster what it is. This abomination almost turned the world on its axis. It created servants. They were cursed spirits, transformed by humans and monsters from its own power. There was a select group of them, different from the rest. They were powerful. Eventually, though, the sage won and stripped him of all of his power and sealed his power away because it could not be destroyed. Also, the cursed spirits that he created that were bound to him, truly connected, were also sealed away as well. Wait, where is his power now? You said it couldn't be destroyed. The tailed beasts that belong to every nation, each of them carry a fragment of this power, holding the most terrifying thing, even greater than themselves. They do not know what they truly contain. What about these cursed spirits? They were entrusted to some close friend of the sage. I believe they would have passed down through lineage to some holy man. Jiraiya's mind immediately understood. The Fire Temple Massacre, the artifact that was stolen, the change in Sasuke Uchiha. Jiraiya put it together right there and then, truly understanding. He understood it. So that means Naruto wasn't being possessed. He was some kind of reincarnation, some kind of entity from the past, to reclaim his power. That is why he went to the sand. That means he had roughly 20% of his power. The Nine Tails was inside of him, and he went after the One Tails. He stood there absolutely shocked. This thing that is walking around, that you call Naruto, is a force of great evil, and it will not stop until it reclaims its power. And if it does, no one, absolutely no one within the elemental nation will be able to stop it. They will all fall. Jiraiya's hands clenched into fists. Damn it, he shouted. He's already claimed 2 of these fragments, the 9 and the One Tails, and now he's out there on the loose. The more power he claimed back, the stronger he becomes. The great elder told Jester to Paul, who made his way off. He returned a few minutes later with a massive box. This box contained 3 artifacts. You have some? Yes. The cursed spirits. They were given to me by the sage a long time ago, crafted by his own hands. The protection that surrounds them. Artifacts that were imbued with his own knowledge and his own power to be unbreakable. One of them was a stone that was carved in the shape of a serpent. The other one was a bronze bell. The last was a crystal orb that seemed to contain swirling darkness. We have guarded these since the sage time. The great elder told though, remember something. If I'm not mistaken, there is perhaps 10 of them. What? You just said, is there 10 or is there 9, said Jiraiya. My memory of the past is rather unreliable to some degree, but there was a last fragment that had escaped. A last fragment that had done a lot before it was eventually trapped. I do not know the locations of the others, or where any of them might be, but as we are blind, so is he. The sage specially created them so they could not be sensed, not by the ones that created them. Even his own power he cannot find. The essence of the tailed beast is meant as a cloak to cover them. The sage has done it that way to make sure that no single guardian knew the location of all of them, fearing one of them being corrupted as well. However, this is good. The lack of information on his part shall serve you well, Jiraiya boy. But know this. It doesn't matter your connection with this boy, the relationship you might have had with his parents. If you do come across him, it will be your responsibility to put an end to him. Because if not, there will be nothing that will be able to stop him once he regains his power, and then we all shall fall. Time skip. The temple was ancient, away from any great villages. It's been here for many years. There has never been a death that was done out of hate. Peaceful passing on, yes. But now, monks, priests, holy men all lie on the ground. Sasuke Uchiha had carved and cleaved and dismantled them brutally. The mark Uchiha had cut through them like they were paper, starting to show a smirk of dominance as he butchered them all, proving that his power was truly unstoppable in every way that it counts. In the central chamber though, Naruto held the head monk up by his throat. Where are the others? Naruto said. The artifacts. You must know something. You kept records. You spoke about having one of them, but no information after that. I will tell you nothing, the monk said, blood splatting on Naruto's face. You are the monster that we have been guarding them from. I'd rather die. Come on, don't count yourself out so easily. Death is not in the books for you. Well, not immediately. Naruto's fingertips started to glow as he plunged his hand into the monk's head, literally feeling into his brain. Swallowing that fragment from Gaara had unlocked new abilities from Naruto past. He started to rob the information literally from his mind, doing irreversible damage to the monk's mind as he dived deep. The monk had stopped writing the records after they were stolen by Orochimaru several years ago. Yes, when Naruto pulled back, the monk collapsed down to the ground. Orochimaru of the Shonen. Seems like this individual has taken an interest in the artifact as well, Naruto said with a smile. How are we gonna find him? Sasuke questioned. He's a Shonen, one of the strongest ninjas alive. True. But your strength is growing. By the time we do find him, the both of us should be enough. Don't doubt yourself. Just give it time. Soon enough all of that will vanish. The grief, the fear, the empathy. Soon enough it will be pure acceptance, Naruto said with a smile. The next week was a blur of violence and devastation. It happened when they found their first sound ninjas. After learning that Orochimaru had been seen around these parts, information on him was limited. However, most people didn't have what Naruto had. The ability to rip through minds like it was paper and gather information. Entire facilities fall, which contain over 50 plus ninjas. The two boys went to work, burning and dismantling, causing death and destruction in their wake. Sasuke's moral compass, already damaged, it continued to deteriorate. As he started to kill without hesitation, cleave and dismantle, they became like second nature and they were growing stronger as well. The more he adapted to the cursed nature, to the cursed power inside of him, as he found himself understanding combat on an instinctive level that transcended his training. Sukuna essence was starting to fully integrate, growing his strength exponentially. Soon, Sasuke wouldn't just be hosting part of the cursed spirit as a hybrid, he would fully transform into one, awakening and unlocking everything. His power will be absolute. All of the memories, all of the information that Naruto has been stripping away, led them to a very secretive base, where they came across a woman known as Gurren, possessing a crystal release ability. Gurren was skilled, experienced, a high-level Jonin level kunoichi, and her bloodline made her truly dangerous. However, Sasuke matched her blow for blow. Physical strength peaking, speed. He kicked through crystals, he sliced through them. Gurren watched as the rest of her garrison, every single one of them, descended upon Naruto, Renji and his group. Some of them possessing bodies that were beyond normal, that allowed them to survive some devastating injuries. They were tested on by Orochimaru himself. However, when they all came down, even Gozu, a very tall, powerful man that can stretch his arms, the smile on Naruto's face as he burned them all into oblivion shocked Gurren. Her body was covered in a special layer of crystal, so she didn't expect it to see blood. Sasuke cleaved right through her stomach area, followed by several others, which got her falling to one knee. Not possessing a regenerative ability, she tried to keep up. She crystallized the entire ear by freezing them all in a massive dome, suspending everything a part of her crystal. It started to grow on the both of them. That was until Naruto pressed his hand on the dome and disintegrated it. Just like that. She tried to run, blood leaking from her stomach, her arms, her legs. It was over, she thought to herself, as she tried to run away. However, Sasuke kicked her through several trees. As he slowly approached, she refused to go down like a coward. She rose back to her feet, ready to fight despite the blood loss causing her to be drowsy. He was going to do this personally with his bare hands. Naruto gripped his hand, stopping him. "What are you doing?" Sasuke said. Gurren fell, her body finally succumbing to her wounds. The last thing she saw was the blonde-haired one smiling. Gurren woke up. The first thing she noticed was her hands were bound by chains, but these were not normal chains. Pure cursed energy was running through them, affecting her very skin itself, causing her discomfort like a slow burning acid but not truly intense. It seems like he sensed that she was awake. "Finally, you're awake." I was beginning to worry that I went too deep. What are you talking about? In your mind. Usually my opponents die when I extract memories. You what? About your master. You were much more informative than the others that I've killed. But don't you worry. The chains are a gesture. For you to join me, of course. Join you? Are you insane? The moment I'm free, I'll kill you, she said. Naruto started to laugh, finding her threats amusing. I'm afraid that joining me wasn't an option, he said. No, stay away. She was cut off as he pressed his hand on her head. Cursed energy was not to enter the human body this way. 7 days Naruto would give it. She passed out, her body being placed in a very transformative stage. If he did not do something, she would turn into a cursed spirit. but not like the ones that he created. She would turn into a mindless beast, roaming around without an identity, just slaughtering and destruction, feeding on the darkness of the world. 7 days until she turned into that. Until then, her body will be preserved until he arrived. Orochimaru had one of the fragments. He was gonna feed it to her. It was her determination, her loyalty. Naruto was planning on remaking all of the cursed spirits through people of this era. He was going to transform them all. Meanwhile, that was going on. In just 2 days, Naruto and Sasuke started to rack up a death toll, diving into the hundreds. Orochimaru couldn't take it. He was planning to attack Konoha in the upcoming Shonen exams, but if things continue on like this, he wouldn't have an army to attack them. So this was the opportunity. He spread information, allowing his own man to be slaughtered so that they could get to him, purposely allowing the information to leak straight to Naruto. While that was going on, Jiraiya was on the hunt. Moving from one sound base to another, Jiraiya saw the massacres. It was brutal, wicked. Zetsu was also on the hunt as well. His goal to find them and allow Itachi and Kisame to capture the Nine Tails. Itachi was having an inner monologue with himself, having heard things that Zetsu had brought back to the organization about the wickedness that they were moving across the nation with. Zetsu found himself seeing all sorts of atrocities and remembering the past rather well. Zetsu would also like this problem to be taken care of, not wanting it to disturb his own problems, so he was doing his best to try and find them, while Itachi was internally concerned about his brother, not understanding what was going on with him, what brought on these changes. Eventually though, within a day, 3 days in total, Naruto and Sasuke found the base. Larger than most, in the center of a mountain, so perfectly hidden you wouldn't know unless you were actively searching for this. There was no traps. He knows that we're coming, Sasuke said. Yes, it's obviously a trap, said Naruto. But it doesn't matter. With that, they start to walk down the hall. No shinobis to block their path. No one to interrupt them. No one to get in their way. Finally, they arrived to a massive open location. There was many doors along the wall, and they were locked. Naruto heard movements and whispers behind them. Orochimaru appeared on top of the podium. Welcome, he said, a smile on his face. Naruto looked at the Sannin, the artifacts. Hand them over. So direct, Orochimaru chuckled, licking his extensive tongue outwards. Tell me, what exactly are these artifacts? I've been studying them for years, and I have yet to truly understand them. Sealing arts beyond my comprehension, power that predated shinobi knowledge. They're mine. Pieces of my servants, sealed away centuries ago. I want them back. Your servants, sealed away centuries ago? Well, doesn't that just make you the most interesting person on the planet? I've searched the world for a long time and I've only found 5. But I never went to the Land of Fire temple, so I believe there's only 6 in total then. No, said Naruto. There is a couple more. Naruto then remembered something, talking to the Sannin here. Maybe it was the fact that Orochimaru smelled like snakes. It had him remembering another animal. He remembered when they were trying to kill him when they thought they could. There was something assisting the sage. It was a long time ago. It was a toad. The way they spoke to one another with familiarities. Maybe. Naruto smiled to himself, understanding now where the others were. It had to be. Kept within their domain, hidden from the world. The problem was he doesn't know where the toads reside. But he was sure that someone like Orochimaru, A man with vast knowledge, a man that was obsessed with power from what he could see, had that knowledge. Wonderful, Naruto said. What is? Orochimaru questioned. The information that I'm going to get from you, Naruto said with a smile. So let me guess, you simply expect me to hand over years of research, treasures I've killed for. Yes, or die. Your choice. Orochimaru opened his mouth. Enough talking, Sasuke interrupted. This does not concern you, snake. Hand over the artifacts or I'll kill you. You have a minute. Ah, the young Uchiha. You've grown into such a wicked young man. I wonder, what would your brother think of you now? Then again, given after what he's done. He doesn't matter, Sasuke said. You don't matter. 60 seconds starting now. Come on now, boys. You're both rather smart, from what I can see. Did you really believe that you would walk in here and go out alive with these artifacts? The moment he said that, the doors opened, revealing several monstrosities that Orochimaru had created from Jugo Curse Mark. There was quite a lot of them as they swarmed them. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Kill them all, he said. Sasuke did not hesitate as he descended upon them. Naruto leaped upwards though and chased after Orochimaru as he ran down the hall. The white flames erupted from his feet, propelling him forward at an insane speed as Orochimaru had to go full force while running, because if he did not he would be captured. Orochimaru made his way down the hall and an arrow slammed into Naruto's chest. It was a test after all, from what he heard so far. That arrow was dripping with enough poison to kill an army, because the encapsule meant inside could be dispersed in a wide radius. Yet Naruto kept on running. He did not stop. 3, 4, 8, 10. The numbers kept on climbing as the arrows sunk within Naruto's flesh. The venom tried to burn at his skin. It tried to devour his insides, but Naruto's body did it more harm than it did him, as he plucked them out rather easily. Orochimaru watched in shock and fascination. Even he himself would have been staggered by that. Not killed completely, but staggered for a long time. His regenerative abilities is beyond anything I've ever seen. Even a perfect Jinchuriki cannot heal that fast. His body is truly remarkable. Orochimaru's mind and plan shifted. Instead of going after the Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki was the prize, that body, that power. He can only imagine what it would bring. He spat the Kusanagi blade from his mouth, drawing the legendary sword as he aimed it towards Naruto. Upon doing so, the Sound 4 and Kimimaro showed themselves. Deal with the Uchiha. I will handle this one personally. Oh, and do not kill him. I want him alive. They all nodded and dispersed. Naruto did not even try to stop them as they passed him, not believing that they could kill Sasuke because that was impossible for them. Orochimaru made it a fact to struck first, the Kusanagi blade slicing through the ear with a wicked curve. The sword could pierce almost any defense, cut through any length, could tear through the strongest materials. Naruto dodged, the sword passing inches from his throat. He countered with white flames. Orochimaru was already on the move, having seen that just completely turned the wall into dust. He's fast, Naruto thought, analyzing Orochimaru. Faster than all the Jonins. And that sword, Naruto found it remarkable. It reminded him of his weapon. However, that weapon, he didn't know where it was. He had used it a long time ago, something that he specially created, but he had no idea where it had been buried after all of these centuries. Orochimaru kept up the attack, moving from walls to walls, leaping, twisting, and dodging. Orochimaru opened his mouth and so much snakes. They descended upon Naruto, but Naruto turned them all into dust. But it was all a distraction. He used the distance to get right in front of Naruto, believing that if he struck him right in the heart, it would at least weaken him for the time being. However, as the blade started to pierce through, Orochimaru saw something. The boy had reacted in time, but he stopped his movements, allowing him to stab him. And he smiled. Orochimaru knew that this was bad. Thank you for slowing down. To be quite honest, you're faster than me, stronger than me. Yet you can't kill me though. But you are stronger and faster. So, know that I have you. I'm not gonna let you go. Wait, what are you? Orochimaru felt the chill. Naruto's right hand became cold while his left became hot. Fire and ice. However, the way they were combined was not the same way you would combine normal fire and ice. Imagine pouring cold water on a flame, the steam that will rise. But this was no normal steam. When Naruto slapped both of his hands together, it caused a chain reaction that triggered from the cursed energy, exploding outwards. The explosion was violent. The blast was apocalyptic. It tear through the mountainside. If Naruto's hand had been placed upwards, the entire place would have caved in. But due to his hands placed forwards, you could see the outside explosion ripple through and wipe away everything. Hundreds of miles obliterated. Orochimaru was right in the depths of that. Naruto had accumulated majority of the cursed energy that he was producing in that moment to set off that blast. Having already figured out that, in a straight battle, Orochimaru would best him. Over to the other side. Lord Orochimaru, Jirobo said as he saw and felt the massive explosion. If Naruto had turned their way, they would have all been dead. The problem was, taking his eyes off Sasuke was a grave mistake. Sasuke appeared between them like death incarnate. His cleave technique ripped through Kidomaru's extra arms as blood sprayed as he screamed in pain. Tayuya tried to cast a genjutsu with her flute. Sasuke dismantled, shredded the instrument before it could sound, also ripping through her lip, tearing through her teeth. Seikon and Ukon, they tried to merge back together to combine their attack, but Sasuke was faster. He drove his arm through Ukon's chest, flooding his body with cursed energy, destroying him from the inside. Seikon shouted at his brother's demise. Jirobo spun and brought his arm down at full force, slamming Sasuke into the ground. However, Jirobo could not feel the weight behind his arm. Why not? His eyes widened as his arm had been severed. The ground exploded, but his arm had been completely removed. He jumped away as Kimimaro erupted bones from the ground, forcing Sasuke back. Immediately, all of them transformed into their second state except for Kimimaro. Yes, all of them transformed except for him. Despite their injuries, something they were learned to fought through, pain and suffering, Orochimaru truly trained them to be monsters after all. They went on the offensive, attacking Sasuke at once, stopping the bleeding that they were receiving at the moment. They beat their weapons down on him. They attacked him with all of their ferocity, rage in their eyes. But Sasuke was learning, adapting, evolving, changing. And that change came with the malice and the enjoyment of destruction. Sasuke started to smile as he started to cleave through the building. He started to rip it to shreds. As the stronger he got, the more of that power started to fester inside of him, awaken inside of him. Sasuke's hand formed into a strange hand sign. But it wasn't a power that he could summon just yet, but he could feel it. A domain. Something hidden beyond the veil. He landed and jumped away as a bone ripped through his chest. He grabbed it, ignoring the pain, and broke it and stabbed it in Jirobo's thigh and kicked him away. Kimimaro started to launch more weapons towards Sasuke, trying to bring him down. Meanwhile, on the other side, Orochimaru had reacted quick enough and buried himself underground, but the entire place had came down on him. He exploded out of the rubble and dust and debris. Orochimaru started to regenerate from his wounds. He looked around, not seeing Naruto anywhere. The problem was he could not sense him. My lab, the artifacts. Orochimaru rushed through the destroyed building, grabbing the stone and debris and throwing them away, rushing down deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the hidden vault. Orochimaru had kept them here because he believed, once subduing Naruto and Sasuke, they would give him the information after he forced it out of them how to unlock the artifacts. He went deeper and deeper, making his way, moving as fast as he possibly can. Finally arriving though, Orochimaru was confused. The place was untouched, he wasn't here. That is when the wall exploded inwards. It was almost like someone had burned everything inside of it. Orochimaru turned as Naruto zipped past him. The entire top came down, forcing the Sannin backwards. Thank you for the tour. That was the final thing he heard before everything collapsed. Orochimaru's eyes widened as he realized and understood in that moment every single thing that took place. Due to the fact that he could not sense Naruto, Naruto had been playing him, using him. He had been following him in the shadows. How did he mask his scent and sound so good? Orochimaru would probably never know. But he used him to get to the artifacts, used him to find the exact location, and now they were behind that stone. Orochimaru started to tear through the stones with brute strength. If he could just get to them first, grab the artifacts and use them as leverage, Orochimaru tear and rip and tear and rip and tear and rip. Finally, he forced his way inside when he saw all of them were gone. He cursed, only to look up as Naruto dropped. Once again, his lack of being able to sense Naruto cost him. Naruto slammed the mask on Orochimaru's face. Yes, he slammed the mask down on Orochimaru's face. Slam it down hard. His cursed energy then started to work through it, binding it to Orochimaru's face. Orochimaru tried to turn into mud, tried to substitute, tried everything. However, something was wrong. The cursed energy was disrupting his chakra flow. He tried to tear it off as he gripped the sides, but it was digging into his flesh. Orochimaru tried to exit his form. He tried to tear through his own back, but his chakra was not circulating as it should. Get it off! Get it off! Get it off! He screamed, his fingers peering into the edge, trying his best to rip as he started to tear, rip at his own face as he was trying to tear off his own face. He knew that this was wrong. He knew that something chaotic and, well, wrong for him was gonna happen if this was to stick to his very face. He tried to tear off his skin, he tried to peel off his own face, but it wasn't working. The mask itself was fusing and digging deeper and deeper and deeper into his very skull. Orochimaru could feel the influence digging into his mind. He started to beg. Please, he screamed, I'll give you anything. I'll give you anything you desire. He begged. The thing that the Sannin hated the most was being manipulated, being used. Years of manipulating others, years of using others. To think that this was his biggest fear, his biggest taboo. To be the one to be a puppet, Orochimaru hated that. But Naruto did not listen though. He started to pour more and more and more and more cursed energy inside of Orochimaru, allowing the reaction to take place, the same thing that happened for Sasuke. The problem was Sasuke was in the open and they were in an underground chamber that was covered by many stone and debris that was easily explodable and breakable. Not to mention they were deeper and deeper than any of the other surface. Thus, when the connection finally got together, when it finally solidified, when it finally fused together, what followed was a chain reaction, but it was not going in mid-air or around, it was going explodingly outwards. And the explosion was cataclysmic. It triggered a blast that caused the entire place to come down. Not just one, everything. This location had built into the mountain structure, so the entire mountain started to fall. Everything started to explode, everything started to collapse. Anyone that was there that wasn't strong enough, they were crushed and disassembled under the weight of it all. Sasuke leaped to the top, having cleaved right through everything. He stood at the summit. He had teared through majority of Kidomaru's arms. He had ripped off one of Jorobo's arms. He had split Tayuya's face. She was in a terrible state right now. They were using the curse mark trying to heal themselves. However, Sasuke was a beast amongst men. He started to enjoy it, every last part of it. The chaos, the destruction, he started to enjoy it. It started to become fun. Naruto appeared beside Sasuke. Not bad, he said. You're starting to have fun. That's good. The Sound Four emerged, battered and bruised but still efficient enough to fight. Kimimaro was the first to speak. Where is Lord Orochimaru? He said, demanding answers. Oh, he's coming, said Naruto, with a smile on his face. The Sound Ninjas seemed relaxed at that, as they watched as Orochimaru exploded out of the rubble. He landed nearby. However, his eyes looked distant. They looked hollow. Something was not right. Something did not make sense in his eyes. It was like something was missing, or maybe something was finally found. Orochimaru seemed rather out of it, empty, completely blank. Lord Orochimaru, Kimimaro said. Orochimaru tasted the words like they were foreign to him. My name, he whispered under his breath. The name sounded strange and unusual, clashing with another identity. The mask was no longer there, having fused into him just like the box had fused into Sasuke. As he looked towards his hands, Kenjaku, Naruto said. The cursed spirit that he created so long ago. Kenjaku was one of the first that he created. It was the first experiment that he had tried. That wasn't a human manipulation or twisted form. Kenjaku was different in every sense of the word. It was a brain. He had wanted to see the effects of what would happen if he drowned the brain with cursed energy. What he created though was something special. He had slaughtered maybe 50 humans and implant Kenjaku inside of them, which was a brain. And what he found was intriguing. Kenjaku was able to rewrite the body, change it on a molecular level, and transform it into a cursed flesh. Kenjaku became a source itself, granted with special abilities from Naruto as well, but it could be implanted in any body and change it and took over their identity, their memories, their insights, their understanding, their knowledge. It was one of the smartest and most deadliest because of that ability. Able to escape a lot. But his desire to save his master and rescue his master got him caught by the sage. But the sages were dead, have been for a long time now. Orochimaru was confused. What did you do to me? He said. I am Orochimaru, not this Kenjaku. You are both and neither. You're currently in the stage of a transformation. The fusion is processing. Your brain is being diluted. Soon enough you will understand who you truly are, what you are becoming. Before that, make them kneel, said Naruto. Orochimaru did not hesitate, as listening to one of Naruto's orders seemed to be an order to listen to. And gravity reverse. The moment he said that, as he extended his hand, the technique manifested. Anti-gravity manipulation, an ability that he had possessed back then. As every single member that stood there, except for Sasuke of course, all collapsed down to their knees. The pressure and weight crushing down upon them like a force of nature. Jorobo, despite his durable enhanced ability, felt his bones creak and crack as he was forced down. All of them slamming face first down into the dirt, unable to withstand the pressure that was eating away at them. The only person that was able to stand was Kimimaro, as Kimimaro activated stage 2 curse mark transformation, due to the fact that Orochimaru has not yet fully understood what he was. He wasn't as strong as he should be. Lord Orochimaru, he said, please, stop this. Fight him. I am. Orochimaru. Orochimaru said, struggling just like how Sasuke was struggling, but Naruto's order was absolute. He could not fight against it. Kimimaro decided to kill Naruto, believing that he would, well, with his death, all of his source, all of his influence would vanish. But he took his eyes off Sasuke, and going after Sasuke's master was bad. Sasuke appeared above him and dropped his leg so hard in Kimimara's head, you could hear his skull fracture. Kimimaro flew from the sky and slammed deep into the ground. Not even his enhanced bone armor surrounding his skull could have prevented that from happening, as Sasuke's body had grown enhanced to impossible level. The ground collapsed, forcing him down. He was left on the ground a drooling, bubbling mess as Sasuke stood over him. Naruto stood there looking at all of them, gazing towards them. They could be useful. He moved towards Kimimaro though. To his surprise, Kimimaro was still amongst them, still kicking, strong enough to survive what would have killed most. And his loyalty, his compassion, it was deeper than just simple control, not to mention his rare bloodline ability. Throughout this all, Naruto loved to experiment. He loved to see new changes, new growth. He wondered what would the application of one of his cursed spirits do to a bloodline wielder. Sasuke's Sharingan itself was developing. Naruto had ordered Sasuke not to use it because he saw that using it was slowing down the process. Naruto wanted to see just how a cursed Sharingan would be useful. It was developing at its max. He would see the results. Naruto smiled. However, he snapped his head to the right, sensing something that he sensed a long time ago. But how? Immediately Zetsu fled. Zetsu fled as soon as possible, fleeing into the ground and hiding, digging and diving away. Well, isn't that surprising? Seems like it's immortal, Naruto thought to himself. He remembered that creature, bathed in darkness. He came across it some years ago. He remembered rather well. It never intrigued, it never attacked him, it never moved towards him. What it did do though was watch. It continuously watched him. It watched him and watched him. He found it amusing, and back then he was just trying to grow and understand. Naruto was intrigued though. For it to be immortal, it must have something powerful back in it, or itself should be powerful. Something else to be curious about. This world, so fascinating, he thought to himself. Come to me, Kenjaku, said Naruto. We have a lot to discuss about your current memories. The vault of Orochimaru information in his mind. You will tell me about the great village's location. You will tell me where the land of toads are. And you will tell me everything else that you know about this world. Orochimaru found himself unable to speak, unable to question his new master. Something that he should despise, but that part of him that should despise it wasn't so talkative right now. Only minutes away though, we get to see Jiraiya of the Sannin racing towards the location, unaware that he was about to walk into the greatest atrocity of his life. As it did not seem like Naruto and the others, well, they all listened to Naruto, were planning on moving just yet, which meant they were all going to, well, come across him. And that on itself was the greatest problem. As Zetsu fled back to his organization to inform them of what was going on, that again was another big, terrifying problem in on itself. Yes, this was becoming problematic very soon, as something big was going to combine, all of them converging together as one. The very thought of it was terrifying. But Naruto did not care, because Orochimaru was spilling the information to him like a fountain, spreading all that water. While that was taking place, the great elder Toad could feel it. The more cursed spirits that were brought into the world, the more the foundation of nature, of natural, of order was being upset. He could feel it, he could see it. He could almost taste it in the air, the wrongness. He could feel it through everything. Jiraiya boy. If he fail, they will all die. There was no if or but. They will all perish. But guys, in the end episode right here, if you want to see the next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification say posted. Don't forget to share to all of your friends and your social media platform. But I'm off now. See you guys soon. Peace, guys.